Hello and good day to all of you folks out there and latecomers like I am and we are, and welcome to the virtual Soaring Grand Prix of today's day, May 16th of 2022, and we are live today in Czar in Poland, and we are already in the race for quite some time, for about 40 minutes. So we apologize, but we are here today to show you some stuff. And joining with me today is nobody on my left here, but maybe Sebastian will join us later if he has time to find the time. But we are happy to be here for you. And if you see above me, we already have some people soaring. And again, the race has been on live for 40 minutes. We're on day 2 in Tsar. I don't know if Sebastian has any kind of race results for day 1 ready for us or not. It doesn't matter. Otherwise, we go straight into the stream and we'll talk about what's happening live. And there we are. We have Donia Pierre Luigi, who number 269, and he has been trying to get over to his turn point 1. I've been following the race for quite some time, and he hasn't made it. He may have made it now, but he has had a massive struggle to stay up in the air. He was scraping the mountain. He was looking at outlanding fields already. He took a risky thing, hoping that some of the lift would happen on the ridge, but I wasn't really strong. So, but he made it back up. He's now at 1,200 meters, which is really nice to see. But let's go up there to the big gaggle that we're having. We're already on leg 2, meaning we passed turn point 1 and we're on leg 2. And here we can beautifully see who is leading the race. We're looking at Ernesto right now. He is on the bottom of this gaggle, so he's definitely not leading. On the top of the gaggle, if you zoom out a little bit, we can see the top of the gaggle. And they are basically in the mountains or clear or near of the mountains or just leaving. Okay, so we have Stuart Henschel, one of the winners of, I think, day 2 in Boras. And but he's now basically leading the second day of Tsar in Poland, closely followed by Timke, JKK or Juliet Kilo Kilo. Timke, as we know, is Tim Matzen, and AEX, and we have here Jamon Kajalainen. So these are the top 3 right now on the second leg on day 2, and they are heading cloud base around 1,900 meters. So cloud base is around there. What we have on wind today, the wind direction is coming out of 313 degrees. So we have wind out of the west-north and or the northwest. And that means right now in the second leg, they basically have tailwind with crosswind. They do. And the wind today is 15 kilometers per hour. So it's a decent wind. Lots of blue thermals, and then the occasional clouds showing up right here for Alex Holzwieder. He's going right now for that cloud. And again, max altitude for today is around 1,900 meters. The cloud base, as I said, but the strengths of the thermals of today are medium, so somewhere between 2 to 3 meters per second. The width of them is normal, so no white thermals, more normal thermals. The turbulences are light, and flats activity is also very high. And so we'll see how this is going to play out in the long run, for sure. Again, we have lots of wind. The course is quite interesting. As I said, we already have turn point 1 going to turn point 2 with tailwind and crosswind. Then from turn point 2 onwards to turn point 3, we have total tailwind, fast, and flying into higher mountains. So we have to stay up. It's key. Turn point 2 is on top of a small mountain, and then turn point 3 is on the highest point of turn point 3 and the highest point of the area. If you look on the 2D view, you can see a little bit of the mountains that we're having to deal with in this beautiful southern end of Poland. Beautiful areas to fly. And we also can see who's leading right now. 269, who was scraping, tries to catch up, but he still has to go around turn point 2, I believe. And then on turn point 3 to turn point 4, we're having to fly headwind, 15-kilometer headwinds, not massively, but still quite a bit of headwind. And to finish this whole thing, we have to go up to 800 meters. And there is beautiful. Thank you, Sebastien, for showing this. After turn point 1, we can see how Donier Pierluigi is trailing behind everyone, basically, because he was scraping hard to make this happen, and he's finally happening. But and you can see the riffles of all the mountain ridges that they're dealing with. They're not like the Alps. Nope, they're different. But again, we're going to fly into higher mountains. That's what's going to happen. We have to deal with that kind of terrain and terranium. Here we go. We can see Timke right now turning. We're getting a little bit of lift right there. He's still 1,600 meter up. He's not taking that. That means it's not a really strong lift. And so it is. That's how we're going to deal with that. AEX doing the same thing. Nice view of Timke, or Tim Matzen. I'm surprised he didn't take that, but obviously wasn't strong enough. And they want to get to turn point 2 because that's massive tailwinds. So that's what you need. And he's trying to be the leader. If I look at the overall score of the other 2 days that we have been racing, I can see on my end we had yesterday's race, and I'm going to talk about it quickly. Yesterday's race was race number 1, and on the podium we have Haskar Christensen. This is Victor 8, and he flew a nice average of 145.03 kilometers per hour. Took him about what's the time? 1 hour and 56.22 minutes. In second place is a good friend of mine, Calvin van Balen, ICU, India Charlie Universe uniform. And then in third, we had David Redman from Australia. And he was actually won one of the races in Boras. But those are the top 3 from yesterday. They are probably flying for a later time because we do not see them today. At least I have not seen them on today's server. So that means those guys might fly at the later time on a different server. Good for them. But as I said earlier, Timke right here that we're looking at, Tim Matzen, he came in 11th place. So that means he's in 11th place right now and an average of 135.38 kilometers per hour. And right now, today, he's trying to win. Huh? That would be nice. I would love to see Tim win. And there he is, little stick lift. He says, this is strong, turning to the left. He is taking this thermal, this a quick left turn. And let's see how it's going to center this one. And the rest of the family probably will follow him or not. Yes, AEX is turning. He says, well, if Timke is turning, then the rest of the wind will as well. And all of the big guys that we saw flying the last few days, if you followed any of the streams, like Vitold and Jerome, they're all not here because they don't have to. They're doing pretty good. Vitold, graduated, is qualified, so he doesn't have to compete in here. And beautiful to see right now. It's an average of 2.5 to 3.5, as I said. So an average, yeah, that's a good average. That's a nice thermal. And they're trying to get up. The rest of the family, you can see, are all joining. And they're all having to fly a left turn. I saw earlier some people were doing the opposite, flying in the opposite turning. And that's very dangerous because you can collide very strongly and very fast and very dangerous. So for you guys who've never soared, the rule is, and always will be, if you join a gaggle, if you join a thermal, you always follow the flight pattern. That means whoever was there first decides to go left or to the right. And you, as the one joining, has to follow, absolutely has to follow that pattern. If you don't, not good. Here we can see nicely JKK is above both of them. And that means Jamon is leading because he is definitely above both Timke and IX. And so nicely done from him. He must have gotten a nice thermal earlier. We can see Sean, S19, KMI, Cuba, all of them coming into this thermal thinking, we'll take some of that, but they're still far away. Churchill earlier here, it's, S19, who's just coming in with that light green. He was straggling earlier too. He was low. I watched it, but he obviously found a good thermal. Is back up in the race. There's Sean Churchill. A very good pilot. Have flown with him many times during other competitions. But he's right now, if we look at the height of him, he's probably in fifth or sixth. He's pulling up now, passing DB1, Delta Bravo 1, and he's going into fifth, the way it looks. And then we have Cuba following him. And Cuba Julio, we have talked to him many times in the past. He has had some leading moments in the past regatta, in the past races, and very proven, very strong pilot. He came in yesterday in seventh during the race number 1. We also can see right there next to him is Arthur 33, or Anton 33, and he flew yesterday as well, which is Arthur Zuk, and he came in. Where did he come in? He thought he was racing yesterday. Let me just quickly find him. Can't find him on the scoreboard. Maybe he didn't fly yesterday. There it is. There. Thank you for bringing us on. Here we can see the scoreboards of yesterday. And we can see Haska Christian on first, Kelvin van Balen second, David Redman in third. The Zipsek ZBY, who's in this race as well, as in fourth. Clinton Clover in fifth. Krasimir Rastrovik in sixth. Kuba, we just saw him. Jeskrovic in seventh. Mihaly Knautz in eighth. KMI, we also saw him. Stuart Henschel, we just talked to him. He is in ninth. Then Ernesto in 10th. And that is the top 10 right there. Tim, Norbert, Jamo, and Richard. Some of them are right now in the race as well, 13th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Thank you, Sebastian. Appreciate that screen. Back in the race right here. And all of them we just mentioned are racing right here, except for the top 3, and they may start in a later time slot. Since we are following, it's easier for some people to race at different times because they are maybe living in a different time zone. Like personally, right now for me, it's 3:53 p.m. in the afternoon, and for you guys, it is 19:53 UTC time in Middle Europe. So this is where we are, watching a beautiful race, beautiful landscape. Thank you for the European server who have created this task or this landscape. You can see all the beautiful trees and all the cities that are also in there. They have done a fantastic job creating this beautiful, beautiful landscape. It takes a lot of time and effort to put this in. And so we can see right now we are halfway to turn point 2. And we have some stragglers in the back, JT 268, and all these others who are really trying to catch up. But as we know, the last one is 9A, Almatos Zucus. And he is, if I look at my screen again, Almatos was racing yesterday, and he actually outlanded. So he didn't finish. He's from Lithuania. He didn't finish the race yesterday, which is a bugger. But he outlanded, and that was it. Same as CAF, but I don't think CAF is here. So I'm a bit surprised how many people did not show up. But again, it might be because they're flying in another time zone. So Almatas is in the scoring on 0 points because of his outlanding. JT, we can see him in front of it, which is Giannis Tetris. JT is from Latvia, and he is the first scorer, or the last scoring on the competition day. He's in 25th, right? He can see he's low again, so low approach. Oh my dear, be careful there. But he found something. He's going back up, and you can see the landscape right there in the distance. You have a beautiful town with some castles or birches, whatever they are. So it's super nice to see what effort they put into this landscape. So I have to have some water. So he's the only one who didn't score, even though he finished, but he didn't get any points. No idea as to why. But so yes, there is Janice trying really strong to stay on this task and try not to outland. And again, in this game, in this simulation, the goal is in the end to show up. Show up and finish the race is what you need to do, especially for all the new ones out there. If you ever tried playing Condor Tour simulation, in the beginning, your goal is to come up. Here we are racing against the best of the best, meaning everybody's trying to prove themselves in the world champion. And here in the virtual soaring GP world. And hey, look at this. He found something. He's taken it. Seems to be quite strong. Whereas Sean and Timke continuing. So we have a bit of a split there. It seems like he found a blue thermal, where Timke is going to that cloud that he's clearly seeing. So, man, this looks like a really strong cloud. That's nicely done by Alex Holzwilder. And Alex, to go back into my own scoring system here, Alex, he came in yesterday in 16th. So he's right there in the middle of all of them, had 360 points. And right now he's racing in the top 3. Very nice, very nice. So he's flying in my flavor a little too fast, 140 kilometers per hour. You need to slow down, dude. Slow down a little bit, pull on the stick a little bit, change your trim a little bit, and that would help you to go up a little faster. And all those little nuances, maybe changing your flaps as well, all those little nuances to be strong and fast make a huge difference in the end. So all those little tips and tricks to make your plane go up faster helps you in the long run to win and end up in a strong position. But AX was good. Right there, we're looking at Timke and all them to the right. Let's see what kind of lift they have, because Alex left that film was like, nah, it wasn't that great. And Tim Madsen going up 1.3, 1.4 average. That is not super strong. So actually, Alex had a really good thermal. Didn't center it well, but I had a strong thermal. Now Timke is picking up a little bit. It's adding to a 2.0, 2.9. Good, strong. It's getting better as we go higher. His height is 1600, so he probably has another 200-300 meters to come. We also got to consider that when we're flying to turn point 2, again, the mountains get higher. Higher mountains, got to watch out. So maybe the wind will pick up as well, because in higher altitudes, they say the wind strength's going up to 45 kilometers. So I'm not quite sure if maybe flying a little ridge over here will help them to get to that 10 point nicely. But that is something these guys looked probably in their task manager when they're preparing themselves to fly to make sure. But if I look to the left there, KJ, Kilo Juliet, Alpha 33, and Juliet Kilo, they are going to the left a little bit and possibly trying to get that tailwind and crosswind section with a bit of a ridge flying. Let's see if we tune into their flight pattern right here. You can see it. And so they're trying to get that ridge. Again, 15 kilometers of wind is not that much for ridge flying. And we're not high altitude here. So lots of trees that take some of the ridge lift away. But if you do find a thermal here, they are usually a bit stronger if they're on the windward side of the mountain. So they're trying their luck right here because they're not high enough to get to turn point 2, that's for sure. They're definitely too low. So they're trying their luck on the ridge, which is a good option. Look at that, 4.2. He did have something right there, but he didn't take it. I would have tried that. I would have maybe make a turn or one or two, but he didn't take it. He's like, nah, looking for more, looking for better. Good luck with that. Again, because you are scraping, and in the distance we see Timke and Axe, they're doing their thing in the clouds, and that is possibly the stronger option. Here we go. Now KJ, Cuba, having them lift on that ridge, and it looks like, man, that little U-shaped thing right there, that could be a good strong, or just flying up along. Aye. It's risky. Because this is not like the Alps when you have these sharp ridges when you just hammer along on these things. And with like 20, 25 kilometers per hour, you're probably good off. But 15, you have to be lucky in finding a good cloud under it and maybe get them up. And since we have lots of blue thermals today, you may be out of luck, or we don't know. We'll find out. This strategy is a good strategy if you get lucky. If not, maybe not so lucky. We'll find out. Yep, that's what we got. Timke right there, Tim Madsen reaching cloud base and 2,000 meters. Nice. They're going to fly straight to turn point 2. And from that point on, they will have tailwind all the way to turn point 3. So that's a good choice. I think it's a safe choice. And Sean Churchill is doing similar now. He's flying in onto the ridges, hoping he finds a bit more lift there, because he sees in the distance, he sees them guys, the 3 guys, having taken that route, but they are not as high as Churchill right now. And he's flying away from the turn point, meaning he's not taking the direct route. Is he? No, he's not. He's flying turn point 4 right now, the way this looks. But he wants to get onto the lead on the windward side of the ridges and hopefully finding some decent stabilized wind, and then just cruising along with the height that he has right now. Sean he knows what to do. He's a very, very known pilot in the community, and he is a very strong pilot. So maybe his higher approach will help him, or maybe not. And in the distance, it looks like Cuba and Atsu found a thermal, or a very light thermal. Yeah, I got something. So that, look at that, 4.5, 4.7, 3.5. That is great news right there for them. So there's a bit of rich lift with a bit of a thermal involved. That gives them that. Yeah, that's strong. That might be one of those narrow ones. So you really have to turn tight and come up. But the height that they're having right now, if I look at the distance, they probably are able to make it to turn point 2. We'll see. We'll see. But then over there we have the high speeders coming in, Timke and Alex. But in a few moments we will see and know which strategy will work out best. You know, Tim has still 1,800 meters, and he's now approaching the same distance to the turn point. And I have a feeling he might be continue leading this, as he has for a while now during this race. And turn point 2, looking good, looking good. But I'm going to see how this comes out. Is Sean Churchill or Timke? Which is the better result? This is a good view to see right now how they're doing. Again, JKK and Arthur, and choosing now to go to turn point 2, which is a good choice, because after that they're having completely tailwind. They can get out of the high mountains, and they're at 1,500 meters, so that's very good. They have plenty of height to get around that turn. I wouldn't do any more deviations. I would fly directly now to turn point 2. That's what I would do, especially since you have to make a right turn rather than a left turn. But again, he's following the ridge. Maybe that is the better option. He has hardly any sink. He's actually plus minus somewhere right there. You can see right now that Arthur and KMI choosing to go through, and they are the first to go through the turn point. And JKK is doing the left turn around the mountain with extra lift on its tail. And so from this moment on, and then we see on the bottom to right, we have Timke and Alex coming now, flying into the turn point. Very nice. And now we'll see. There's 1,700 meters. They're definitely higher than the rest of the crew. And Alex is turning. Timke says, I'm flying away from this, out of that. And interesting, he's going to fly in the leeward side of that mountain. Interesting, interesting. But now we're flying out of the mountain ridge area, and we're flying towards flatland, or out of the higher ridges. And again, here we have to find the blue thermals or the occasional cloud thermal, either or. And there's not much to it. They're all basically pretty much even. And it would make no difference to see, yeah, very even actually. I'm looking at the 2D screen, and they're very even. Again, Timke or Tim Madsen is in the lead because he is higher, and that's how that goes. Like to say also hello to all our YouTube watchers. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. And just got a text from Calvin, my dear friend Calvin, who came in second yesterday. I hope I'll be asking if he's coming later or not. And so all you YouTube fans out there, hope to hear from you. And if you have something to say, we are very user-friendly, as we can call it, user-friendly. So please say hello to us, even on Twitch. We have some people on Twitch as well. Please say hello. Please say hello. And I have Sebastian coming into the house. I believe he's saying, I think I have some urge to share some information. And
hello.
Bonsoir, Monsieur Sebastian. How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm fantastic. I'm awesome. I just looked into you. Did you see that? I just looked into you.
You are looking inside me.
I got a little bit psyched here. Ooh, I saw something. Nice. Sebastian, how are you today?
I'm very good. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you had the time to come in, and I appreciate all the effort to put this live stream up for us. I know there's a lot of detailed work to be done, and you've made it. You're taller than I am. Are you tall in real life? What's your height?
Sorry?
You're taller than I am. What's your height?
No. It's a streaming effect.
Streaming
so
effect.
high.
I mean,
Yeah.
do I have to pump up my chair? Here we
Yeah,
go. There we go. All right. So we can see right here Alex Holzmielde doing his thing. He's thermaling. He found a good strong thermal. It might be just some stick thermal, but he's taking it under. Oh, it's a brand new cloud, actually. That is nice. So that's a new cloud, a new thermal, usually nice and strong. Let's see if he's able to do it. And yeah, fantastic. Sebastian, you have anything to say about this, or?
I'm a bit concentrated on displaying the good view, so it's difficult to do everything at the same time. To comment
Oh,
and yeah.
I know what you mean. I'm very much aware of it, and thank you for doing what you're doing. I love the way you're handling the visual for us today. We can see a lot of good details of the thermals, but look how high Tim Mutson is over there. He found a different cloud, brand spanking new, and he is high up compared to the rest of the folks up front. We're having here Alex, who's in the lead of this thermal, is at 1,600 meters. Let's click on Tim Mutson to see how high he is, because he seems to be, he is 2,268 meters. He is 500 meters ahead. That is a massive, massive height. Wow, he knew what he was doing. I think he saw that cloud developing as soon as he was turning at turn point 2, and bam, he is massively high. Massively high. Wow, very impressive. And I was wondering who's on YouTube today. Who is here today? Please let me know. Love to hear from you. Chit chat away. Always good. And subscribe and like and all that stuff. And I always like to see some like buttons. They always help. The subscribe button always helps further. So we'll see how this goes. We have the subscription has gone way up since 2 days ago. So we actually 50% more subscribers. That is a fantastic number. Wow. So we're obviously doing something good here in the virtual world with all the support of Tim as well as Sebastian and
Antoine.
Antoine, of course, we can't forget Antoine, who's actually not here today. He's actually working. He's flying. And so he has to work and having to take care of some passengers, I'm pretty sure. So this is what's going on. See, now we can see Tim Mutson flying through that thermal way higher than everyone else. And wow, he might consider turning even more. No, he's saying, I got plenty of height. I am going. But that felt like another nice cloud that he could have gone even further high. because everyone else is below him, and Tim Mutson is saying, "Au revoir, c'est la vie, bye bye," you know, and he is going, and I hope, without saying anything about if he's going to win or not, because we have no idea. Things will happen until the end of this finish line. We do not know who's winning this race, and
Do,
so
do,
go
Norman,
ahead.
do you know how many turn points do we have today?
We have 5 turn points. Oh, we have 4 turn points in the finish line.
Okay.
That's, I believe, how I see it on my daily task. I just go into it. Not where is it? Eh, If I can see that, I have to make it bigger because everything is always so small. Why they're making it so small, I have no idea. Increase, zoom in. Yes, please. So yeah, we have turn point 4, and then after that we have a finish line. So, and again, the finish line is at minimum of 800 meters. Cannot forget that. We saw it in race number 6. This Vitold finishing the race in 5th in the lead of overall, and he was too low, and Petit Peu didn't make it, and didn't get scored. Zilch, null, zero. And that's what happens when it happens. So you have to really stay focused through the entire task until the finish line. And only then, when the all the penalty points are scored and all the other flight times are scored, then we know who wins and who won. Today, we don't know. We have Mihaly Knaus, and he is lower. He's only at 1,280 meters, and he is definitely lower than Tim. And he's flying in an area with no clouds, and he'll have to find something. Luckily, there's a cloud. That might be his cloud, and you can see he's steering towards it. And we're still quite a bit far away from turn point 3. The overall task today, I believe, has a length of, hold on, I have to take a look. Just take a look. Today's task is 305 kilometers. This is the longest task that we had so far. And 305 kilometers, that's big. If you ever
Yes.
tried flying, that's a huge task. If you ever tried flying a 50K, 150K, 200K, that's a pretty good day. But flying 305K, bam. If I might want to talk about this, you can go to the sgp.aero website, and because we're following the actual soaring GP competition, and this one started actually 2 days ago. On Saturday, they started to race in Poland, in for real, and they have 16 or 17 competitions in real life. Most of them are Polish, and we had one German in there. And if I go into the results, the leaders of those results is position 1 is Litslav Batnachuk with a JS3, and he has the overall scores of 13. Then we have the German Thilo Hollighaus is a Ventus 3T, and he has a total of 8 points. And closely followed by him is Bogdan Dorachuk in an ASG29 with 8 points in total as well. And so they've been racing for the last 3 days, had today a really good day, and they're predicting to have some really good weathers for the next few days as well. And the virtual races are based on the actual real soaring GP.
So the task
Including,
is exactly the same. The
yep,
turn points are exactly the same, and
yep.
we are trying to set up the weather as close as possible as the real weather.
Yeah, it was the reality and the virtual, right? So this is always what we do. We're trying to be as accurate as possible, and so it's good to see. It seems to be many of them made it, and some of them didn't, because again, they're also interestingly they said that in the review of the SARA competition, that some of these planes are not the high performance new like we're seeing right here, the Ventus 3, or they're flying actually the LS4s, they're flying LS6, they're flying an ASW19. They're flying planes that are not the highest rated planes. So now they have the rating coming in, right? So all these planes are rated based on their flight ratio, et cetera, and their glide ratio. So their scoring comes in differently, which is very interesting to see, which makes a huge difference. And here we fly always the best high quality planes because it makes it easy. One hopes, one knows, one thinks. Tim Madsen, again, still 1,900 meters up, flying a speed of 200 tailwind, right? Remember, now we're having 15 kk of tailwind. So he's going sloopity sloop to turn point 3. And hopefully, because turn point 3, again, is a very high mountain, right? And so if he can glide as much as he can to turn point 3, coming into the high mountains, which are higher than the one on turn point 2, he might find a really strong lift. And with really strong lifts in the mountains, boom, go up faster, quicker, higher. Et voila, you go, you're increasing your distance to all the other pilots. He is flying right now about 160 kilometers, closely followed by Golf Hotel Kilo, with 2 kilometers behind him. So it seems like Golf Hotel Kilo is flying a little faster, actually, but that's okay. So it's about he's leading by 2K, and Stuart right there, very strong competitor, is not that far behind, and has very similar height of altitude of 1863. So nice. These two are duking it out. Sweet. Oh, how high is KMI? Kilo. He is 1,600 meters. So, yeah, he is a little below, but he has found a very strong thermal. Look at that, 5.666 meters. That is a strong thermal. Or was it just a stick lift? No, but it seems like it's averaging out to 2 to 3. Nice. So he has a chance to catch up with a bit of the height, which is really nice to see. So they're all flying different tracks. They're not all on the same track. And KMI is only 3 kilometers behind the two guys that are leading right now. And he's coming up. Look at his height, 1,800 meters. So no, this is a very, very close race. And Alex again is with him as well. So super duper sweet. Love this race today. I think the 4 or 5 of them that we can see right now, especially on the left side, you can see their name tags, their call names. They are definitely in competition mode, and the top 3 are, in favor right now. But 4 and 5 and 6 could easily catch up, and I'm pretty sure they will. Again, we have some bridge flying high mountains coming in. Stuart is finding this beautiful cloud in front of himself. And if you look at it, nice nice view of the cockpit. Appreciate that. He's also right on the blue line. That means he is perfectly aligned with the task. There we can see his altimeter going up slightly, but that might have been the only lift, or is there more to come? Nah, he hasn't reached the cloud yet. Okay, so we'll see how Stuart Henschel, the British guy, will take this race.
What do you think about the average speed you can see on the screen?
The average speeds?
Yeah.
You can see it right there. Look at the average. And I think since Stuart has been flying quite long in the same pattern, he has found, this is a strong thermal under the cloud. He found it. He knew it. He takes it. So you can see his average will go down in a moment right now. Tim Madsen's average will go up because he's still flying into the mountains. But man, this looks like a super strong thermal, 7.55. He found something sweet. He found something really sweet. So as we can see, the average are all between the top 5, 6 are in the 120s, top 6. So you need to be in that, and he's taking it. Stuart, that was a nice thermal, but it seems like it has left you. You need to get out of there quick, or you need to readjust it. It seems to be further south, you have a stronger thermal, so you still needs to adjust this. But we're having Tim right now, super smooth, still 1900 meters up. He has hardly lost any height, and he is just taking this by vengeance. I'm sorry, I have to type a little bit here. And if you don't mind saying something, Sebastian, that'd be great.
Okay, about average speed, it's not so bad the speed for this type of race. We have I will try to show you again the speeds. So it's average speeds, and we can see that one pilot is under 100 kilometers per hour. So it's realistic speed. We will see tomorrow what was the real speed of the real race.
Right. So I'm communicating right now with Kelvin van Balen, who actually came in second yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out if he's actually racing today or not, or if he's going to race a later time. A little backside information is always good. Timke right here. No, this is Almatas, the one who was way behind, and he's still way behind. He still hasn't turned at turn point 2 the way it looks.
Yeah.
Oh boy. His average is 95K, 95.5. So yeah, we've been flying for an hour now, and he's basically 26, 27 kilometers behind. That's a tough one. Oh, actually, we've been flying for an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, he's really behind. His average speed is very slow. But again, he is not the strongest pilot yet. He is learning on his skills, and he's practicing his skills. And hey, what a better thing to do during a virtual GP race to practice your skills and get better at it. May not win, but hey, you'd be starting to be recognized, and maybe next year or next time or next. Again, we have a total of 10 races, and that gives you a lot of time to catch up. And the learning curve on Condor 2, the virtual simulator that we're looking at, the simulator, the learning curve is steep, and your increase of quality is going equally, meaning you learn fast and you go fast. And that's a beautiful thing about this. Very encouraging. And then we have CON, Charlie Oscar November, in the 14th place right now. Has a decent average speed of 16 kilometers per hour. And he's going to join Jet Thermal because he's only 1,600 meters up. They're all doing really good, but not to trifle with Tim Madsen right now, who is definitely leading this race course by a vengeance. He's 1,700 meters. Now he's starting to fly tailwind, and there's a cloud right there. If you see that, if you swing back right there, there's that cloud, and I'm almost 100% sure he's going to find a very decent thermal under there, because there's the ridge right there. Or is the cloud behind on the leeward side? Now look at that, 3.6, 3.8, flying straight through.
No.
Here, there it is. There it is. He flew through it. Sometimes that's what happens. You fly through the first lift, then you level out, and then the second one comes and you start turning. And that's what Tim Madsen did exactly right. His average speed is already up at 128. And strong. He did the right thing. He flew to the mountains, finding a strong thermal. Boom. Oh, going up, going down as fast as he did. Waiting
so
a
it
little
was
bit
not
more.
as good as he expected, so he's going away already.
Right.
Going to
So
the
he still
ridge.
has a really good height, but he has to go around this mountain. He has to fly to the left. But there is some ridge flying going on right here, right now. So he's taking the ridge, still flying fairly fast, 170K. And so he's yeah, I think he might have found this one now. Tim Madsen is one of the superb ridge pilots that I've ever seen. He has a live stream that you could watch right now if you want to. And he knows how to read, and he knows how the Condor rich thermals work. And he's looked, that wasn't strong enough. There must be something better. And he just found it right on the ridge, going up 6, 7. He is gonna, wow. He's probably gonna go above the ridge, higher than the mountain, fly to turn point 3, and continue his journey in the lead. That is very smart, very educated flying of Tim Mutson. Super duper.
Okay, what is going on behind him?
We can see in the distance that everybody's right. We have Alex coming here, as well as Golf 100 Kilo. They're trying to get up, but from my prediction right here, right now, being in the mountain and having such a strong thermal of 5 average,
Yeah.
you can't, that is during mediocre, we have medium thermals today. That is a very strong thermal. And he's already at 2,200 meters, or very close to. And that is the way to fly this task. He read this correct. Leaving turn point 2, catching a little bit of height. Afterwards, he found a really nice thermal, got up to 2,200. Boom. Then he says, here, I'm done. I have enough height, 2,200 meters. And now he's flying along the ridge. And he's going to take this. And his average speed is still at 183 kilometers. No, that's flown. 180. I was like, whoa, his average is really up. The distance he has flown is 183 of 305 kilometers. So we're just a little bit over halfway through. And now he's turning to the left because he has to probably, if you can zoom around a little bit, we can see what direction he's flying, if you don't mind me. Here we go. He has to fly this ridge a little bit. And he's going to take this ridge. Remember, he's flying mostly tailwind right now towards turn point 3. So he doesn't want to fall into that valley over to the right. That would be a big mistake. Lots of sink on the other side and nowhere to get to turn point 3. So his approach right now is flying along this beautiful ridge and getting as close as possible to turn point 3. Since this is a fairly new map for most of them, I'm not quite sure. If I see that ridge on the right there, that looks like a bowl almost like, there might be a really strong lift in there. Now we have a beautiful view of his pilot. We're actually directly right now in Tim Mutson's live stream. He is on autopilot, and he's probably thinking, that ridge, he's following this ridge. And my question is, will he go slightly to the right where that high peak is and finding a strong lift there, or will he continue on the left-hand side? We'll discover this in a moment, but this is live out of Tim's plane. Incredible lead. Very smart pilot. Very, very, very smart. Very strong. All the best to Tim for sure. And he's flying super fast too. And we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this plays. So now he's going to turn to the right? So he'll see if this, as I thought, he's probably going to take that because there might be some really strong lifts and thermals in this or not. Because he's flying, there he goes. There he's hoping for this, absolutely. He has his Kotasa running to the left. The wind is still coming from the tail, but slightly to the left. That's why he's getting a little bit wind. But he's hoping once he reached that edge that it will carry him up. That little bowl that is right there. It may or may not serve him. This is a risky moment for him. Because otherwise he has to fly to the left as he's doing. And maybe that thermal point is so deep in the mountains that you may even have to fly around it to get to it. We'll see how this is going to play out. We have no idea, but this is a very beautiful view. He keeps looking at that turn point like, I need to get to that turn point. And so if you, thank you for coming back. So here we go. That turn point is hidden in the mountains, and you have to be high enough to get there. And look, Tim is 2,100 meters up. And these ridges do carry at this kind because they're high enough that the trees are gone basically, so they're raw rocks and lots of good wind. And since we're up so high, I'm pretty sure the wind speed actually has increased as well. They're probably a little bit more at 20 or 25 kilometers per hour, so that is a really strong way to find some good lift in these mountains. So we'll see. Back into the interview. Look how close he's taken that. There's a nice little lift on that ridge. He's taking it, slowing down a little bit, changing the flap settings back to 0 because more flap means more lift. And if you go to the negative flaps, it would be doing even more. But he's not. He's like, nope, this is good. This is enough. But I have to say, this is going to be a very tough ridge to get over it, because that is behind the mountains and you have to get over it. That is going to be a challenge for everyone. And personally, he's flying through that cloud. I think that cloud maybe have enough lift, because if you look at the shadow of the cloud, it's sitting right there in that tunnel, in that U-shaped U-shaped mountain. So if he's really lucky, he finds a massive lift over there, high enough to get to the pinpoint, and or not. My personal prediction is to fly around that mountain, fly the extra distance, and try not to battle these high cliffs. That's my personal predictions, and maybe they have set it up that way or not. No idea. What do you think?
I think he's going to climb very fast here with a thermodynamic.
7. Look at that. 7, 5. He's not even turning yet. 8, 13. That is what he was hoping for. 20. This is where your pants are going flying off your. That's when the pants flying off your pants. I mean, like, damn. You're sitting there and you're hoping you don't hit your head with the canopy, because you're going up strong, strong, strong. Super sweet. Was that the it? Was that it? Come on. Did you fly past it? Because that was so strong when you got there. 5 meters. Okay. This might be the lift that he was hoping for, to get high enough to get to turn point 3. But the question is that cloud falling apart? It sure looks like it's falling apart. This is tough, guys. This is going to be the most crucial, and this is the most crucial situation of this entire race right now, due to its position. The position of this cloud, of this turn point in the middle of the mountain, really high up, is the maker or breaker. I can see probably in a few minutes some of those less unexperienced pilots coming into these rich areas. They might end up in the mountain, crash their planes, because it's going to be risky to come up high enough. And if you look in the distance, there are only 2 planes following them, which is the British and Alex, who have made it so far. Everyone else is still behind the ridge of the mountain. And Tim now has flown 210K, 201K.
Okay, Stuart is arriving to this cloud, but the cloud ended.
Yeah,
So
it disappeared. That
it's
was a
too late.
unlucky moment. And so you can see now he is here with 1950 meters. Timke is a little higher, and I think he found a new thermal over there. He's starting to turn, and he may have found a new lift, or he's just trying to. Maybe look at that. He's flying to that ridge, very strong ridge, and hoping to get up high. And maybe over that V shape, you see how that mountain is V shaped right there. He might hope to have enough speed and height and thermal. This is again, wow, risky, risky, risky.
Keep safe, team.
That's when I personally get nervous. When I'm looking at this kind of flying, that's why I don't like ridge flying, because I crash.
You are used to crash in the mountains.
I am used to flying in mountains in the virtual world of Condor Tour, and usually tasks like this, I crash, and because it is so easy to mess this up, it is so easy to make a mistake, and to be able to fly the way Tim is, it takes a lot of experience, and sometimes I guess the virtual world messes with my eyes, and I um, misjudge the speed of my own plane. I misjudge the height of the mountains, and the mountains go up, and you're flying up, and you keep automatically pulling up because you're just doing it, and all of a sudden you're flying below, and you're starting to fly in stall speeds, and that's not good, and it's very unhealthy. And then you try to turn, and all of a sudden you have a mountain, and you crash. Um, but Tim may have found the thermal he's been looking for. Oh, he's just scraping along the ridges.
Okay. He's trying to find something. The turn
Oh,
point
he's so
is
close. I mean, he's so close to the turn point, and he has to find enough height to get over the ridge to hit that blue marker. And now he's going to fly S turns, as they call it, or eights, because he's going to fly S's.
to not be
Look at that
facing the
new cloud
mountain.
right in front of him. Is that new cloud? Whoever gets that has a chance. But again, it's below the ridge line. So
The cloud is behind, so maybe the other one will take it.
yeah, I have a feeling the British guy, here we go, Stuart
Still,
is possibly taking this, or if he can reach it. That's also the lucky thing. Can you reach it? Can you not reach it? If he gets it, he's lucky, and that will give him the advantage. So now he's, look at that, +6, +4, +6, -1, -2, -3. So was it the cloud or was it the ridge? Oh, he found it. He got it. 8. He got it. 6. So this is what he needed. And Alex might be following him. Oh, Alex found this ridge right here, and he's doing the risky thing of flying on that ridge. So everybody's trying to do the same thing. And nobody has made it yet. Nobody has gone up yet high enough to get over these high mountains. This is the risky thing. Personally, I believe Timke is doing the right thing. He's flying. Look at that. Me, yeah. He's taken now the speed 200 Ks. He's gonna fly into that little area. +8. He's gonna fly and take it. +4, +2, and now he's gonna go into massive sink. This is the risky flying right here. He's flying very slow. Very slow. I'm surprised that he's flying that slow. And he actually has not made it. He's turning around. Turning around.
he
Oh,
doesn't
he has
have
to do it again.
enough energy to take the turn point.
Yeah, he was flying too slow, low energy. So now he's looking for that ridge again. That's what I said. Fly around that mountain.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. But he's gonna get more height right here, flying along this ridge. Super strong. And then once he has about 2,000 meters, I have a feeling he's just going to hammer it down with 220, 230 kilometers per hour. That is the crucial moment of this thing. And look at this. He's now at 2,200. He's going to turn one more time. He's doing the S, or the 8 turns, as they call it, away from the mountains. You never want to fly and throw into the mountains. And that's a mistake I have done many times, which, like this right there. Now he has to turn hard left, lots of bang. Look at that, +5, +6. And now he's going up. That's what he wanted. That's what he needs. Now he's at 2,250 meters, and now he's going to hammer it. He has it. That's it. That's it. That's the number. Why are you so slow? You had it. I'm surprised. Tim is taking another approach. I think he's high enough. He could easily take this. Ugh. These closed ridge flying are uber dangerous in real life. Uber dangerous. But he's going up, up, and more up. He's just trying to be as safe as possible, and might as well. But now you can see this is his approach line. My suggestion, I would fly as fast as I can, and he's going up, 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 up. This is the ridge he's been looking for. He's going to turn around again, which I'm surprised about it. I would basically turn and then come back to this. That's what I would do. But he's taking this and taking more lift. Bam! I love how that goes. Once you hit that ridge lift, it's just a massive going up. He's now at 2,500. McCready at 2.5. We can see that's a good setting for him. And he's probably going as high as he can. Look at this, going up like a freaking elevator. And he's going to stay there. And he's still not taking it. What do you say about that, Sebastian?
He's trying to gain altitude because the race is not ending at this turn point. So he needs more energy to go forward.
Yeah, but why not turn and come back to this lift?
Because he knows that here there is a good lift. So maybe in 2 minutes there is not enough lift. So he's taking everything he can right now and maybe going to pass this turn point.
And there we can see we've been waiting for Tim Mutson to do what he does, and he's showing his qualities right now in the mountains. That is superb racing. Superb racing. Well done, Tim Mutson. And as you can see in the background here, right next to me, the comments are coming in on his screen. That was nice. So now he's gone to turn point 4, and now he's flying absolute headwind. Absolute headwind. And we're still looking at Stuart and Alex here on the left-hand side, trying to scramble to get around this. And I knew it is best to fly around that mountain where Tim went and get the massive lift. These guys are scraping to get around it. So I see over there to the left is COM, Charlo, Oscar, November, and he is taking Cristiano. He's going to take the same approach, I believe, as Tim did. Well, actually, he doesn't. Alex is doing it, and Cuba are doing it, and I think that's the smartest thing to do. Fly around to that ridge that was so strong for Tim, catch it, go up.
But Tim was higher than them. So
no, they were around, about 100 meters, if that much. But that ridge, as we saw just a moment ago, is the strongest ridge because of the wind angle. Remember, they're trying to take these front ridges that are mostly tailwind. So you have tailwind. You don't want tailwind ridges. You want crosswind ridges that are more potent. And because of the length, see how they go sideways. Sorry, my finger is going. See how that is going so sideways, and that's a tailwind. That is not crosswind. And for a ridge, you want a nice crosswind. So here it looks like they finally made it up. They're flying along. They got high enough now. And so we have another close racing here between Stuart and Mihaly, because they're high enough right now. They're going to fly on that ridge, come to that turn point, boom, and they're going to follow Tim Mutson. But Tim is already a minute ahead of them. He has a massive lead right now. And to your left, you see Cuba and Alex trying to do that ridge flying that proved very well for Tim Mutson. Very strong.
yeah. And we can see Tim is already far away behind them. in front of them. About 10
And look at
kilometers.
Sean going up super strong right here. Churchill, Sean Churchill, S19. He seemed to have found a really strong lift. And you can see how it's going up. Yup, 7, 8 meters. That is what you want. He's above the cloud on the ridge. He is smiling right now, saying, yep, he's 2,600 meters. That is the highest that I've seen. And Sean is, again, a superb pilot. And yet he's far behind at this point, but he's in 7th place of distance flown, or 8th place in distance flown. Super nice. So Alex is turning right now, or turned. And there's Ernesto actually coming as well, who has proven himself really well in the Boras task. Ernesto coming in only at 2,270 meters, flying, whoop, task through the turn, yep, turn left. And I would do what Tim did. I would go on that ridge and give a bit more height, but because that was, like you said, what Tim did. He got lots of height. You see him in a far distance. He's flown already 10 kilometers more than most of the others, and 10, 12, 13, 14 kilometers. So that's a huge lead. 14, 15 kilometers is a huge lead. And
so Tim has now less than 100 kilometers to finish.
wow, 100, 100, no, it's more like 85, no?
Yeah, less than 100.
Yeah, it's 85 kilometers to the finish line. But as you can see, his airspeed right now, the ground speed is 185. So we're flying headwind. So I wish him best of luck to do what he does. And there we see on the bottom there's 9 Alpha. We talked about him earlier. He only has flown 188, so he's 30, 40 kilometers behind. But he's still in the race, which I clap and say, great job. He's not giving up, which is really great.
Okay, let's have a look to the average speed of pilots are flying. Okay.
Average speed 124 versus 120, 117, or 118. And then, yeah, I mean, as we said, he's 20 kilometers or 15 kilometers ahead of everyone. And we can see that he's definitely leading by a big one. And now the chances again, you have to stay up high and find your way through to finish this race. But let's go back to this area because it's such a unique and the most difficult thing to see. Let's focus on those guys. We know Tim is where he's at. We don't have to following. Sean just went through it. The other guys having to still go up or find the lift. We see there still Cuba and Alex are still trying to get on that ridge. They're still trying to find this massive ridge lift. We have Kresimir Kilo Hotel with 1400 or 2350. He needs to turn to the right now to get to that turn. And I think he has enough height, but you also got to remember in those ridgy areas and those mountain leeward ends, you have so much sink sometimes. It goes down as fast as it goes up. And so, but he's making it right now. He's going to turn. He's going to swoop on that one. See how much sink he has right there. He made it. Congratulations. That is Kilo Hotel, Krysimir Hashchovek. And there we can see Alex now going through with a really nice height. But sorry, that's not Alex, that's Arthur. And he's in 13s right now. So I love the diversion of the variances that we're having here in these competitions with all those now variances, not just flatlands, but now we go into mountain flying. And that's a whole different thing. Here I have some commentating. I have some comments. I have the comments here on YouTube. We have One Flow, the American. He says, JD Sowers here. I managed to put in a score yesterday, but my speed was, how you say, nicht sehr gut. Not that bad, not that great. So well done, One Fly. Thanks, JD. I'm going to look at that score, actually, JD. I know you flew, and your score ended up in so good. Can't even find you. Where are you? Ah, never mind. Can't find you. Then we also have another comment, and that's John Davis, which is also the other another American. He says, "Hi Norman, watch Stuart Henschel. I missed the 300 Discord membership by one. That is right. We had that thing. Anthon was talking about the 300 member gets a free ride for one of the competitions and a registration membership. And John Davis registered at 301, missed by one, and it was the other John, DB1, that got it. So thanks for trying. Good job. Let me just quickly go to our Twitch account, and nobody's talking to me there. What the heck? Guys, talk to me. Would love to hear from you. Yep. Me typing and talking, it's like that's a dual task. That's a tough one. I could try, but then I think I mistype, so I just stopped talking because talking and typing, no, cannot do yet. Working on that. So we've seen most of them trying to turn. We see still in the background, people are still trying to get up. JKK coming in right here. He's in 15th. And you see down there 269. He struggled earlier in the beginning of before turn point one. He was scraping just like it, very close to the mountains. He has a nice height right now. And if he continues like this, you will be easily making it to the turn point, but they haven't made it yet. So good job, guys. So look at that nice lift, 8 meters, 7 meters. He's taking this one, trying to get its maximum height that he can, 2,600 meters. So this is a good height, guys. Just go for it. Go to the turn point. JKK is even higher. He wants to even gain more height. He wants to gain even more height. Interesting. How high do you want to go? You know, but then again, as you said, the race is not over here. So let's see. Tim Mutson, his average speed hasn't increased by much. KMI actually has caught up with him on average speed, surprisingly. But Tim's height is now at 2,000 meters and hasn't seen, here we go. Wow, KMI has caught up, but how high is KMI is the question. Can we see how high KMI is? Myla is at 1,600 meters. That's the difference. He is 400 meters below Tim. That's why he has caught up, because he's flying way stronger, way faster. But the safe way is to stay up high. We saw that in Vitoit doing that at the flight, not the last flight, in the 7th competition day in Boras. He stayed always high, turned, flew couple of kilometers, sorry, and then again taking the next thermal, always staying high and fast. That was his choice. Janis Tetris in his beautiful Ventus 3 18-meter class, still trying to get high to get up to his perfect height to be able to go through it. And 9 Anton, we talked about him earlier, has basically flown the same distance as him. They're both scraping on these mountains, trying to get height, getting to the turn point. Yeah. So we have 4 pilots. There he is, 9A. His altitude is at 2,100. That is not high enough yet, but he is sticking with it and possibly will make it. But if you look at that, again, I'm looking at this, I would fly around this mountain, fly to that cloud over there to the left. That's what I would do. Take that left cloud, fly along the ridges, get more height, because there's nothing there. It's all blue. Nothing there. So if you hear me, Amatans, turn left. Not that I'm allowed to give you any hints. And I'm still, wow, 3,130 meters. So JK really is maxing out, and maybe is trying to find we do have a bit of wave going on, very light
Yeah,
wave,
it seems so
you
because
know.
he's over the cloud. So I think it's wave. So it's taking as much as altitude he can, and maybe he will pass behind, uh, in front of the other
Yeah, but
pilots.
he's 33 kilometers behind the leading plane, behind the leading pilot, and if those 4, 5, 600 meters will make a 30-kilometer difference, I don't know. Um, but again, maybe he finds a wave somewhere. That would be an impressive thing to do. It is, and he's still going up. He's like, I'm taking it. I'm taking every freaking meter I can get, every single meter per second. But now he seems to be getting out of. See, now, dude, now you're going down. You've reached your max, and you're losing fast. Oh, he already turned, huh? So you must
Yeah,
have turned already. He just took that down, and that was smart. Okay, so he already turned. He found this lift very well. So now fly your 190, put your autopilot in place, and see where you end up. And now his average speed is gonna go up, and his distance flown is gonna go up. That was sweet. So he's definitely gonna probably gain a few more spots. He's probably gonna end up in the top 10. Very nice. Okay, this is great. On JKK, I just got this information. If we go back to JKK that we just talked about it, I got the information from Javis. JKK Jarmo is a keyboard flyer. So he doesn't use
keyboard.
a joystick, folks. He uses a keyboard. That's how I started off. First was a mouse and then the keyboard. And you can do it. I know I made it. I've flown. I've got it. I've went up. I've thermaled. I've did the whole thing. But once you have a joystick in your hand, you feel like a pilot. With a keyboard, you feel like a keyboarder.
It's maybe not the easy way to start flying.
This is again, if somebody does it on a keyboard and is leading the way or flying the way he is, he's done this for a while, for sure. Thanks, John, for that update. I appreciate that. And Jarmo, I wish you best of luck right now. You're flying really sweet. You're having a good day. Nicely done. Nicely done. Oh, BZ1 right there. You see him up there. BZ1, Bravo Zulu 1. He is John, and he's the guy who got the 300 place in the Condor in our Discord server. I believe that's how. Yeah, BZ1 John is the one. He was number 300, and Antoine is giving him a free entry into the next chosen task for the virtual soaring Grand Prix. So congratulations, John, and thanks for partaking in this, and thank you for taking the 300 spot. I thought about, oh, I can unlock and log back in, and then I realized, no, if I unlock, I'm just going to reduce one and add one. It doesn't work that way, so um, it is
Okay.
what it is. So Tim Madsen, 1,626 meters. He has flown 252 kilometers, so he is only 43 kilometers away from the finish line.
The finish line is not at the low level. The
Now he
finish
has to
line
have
is
an
high.
800 meter max,
Yeah.
800 meters, so he has to be up. So this is not his final glide. I don't think so. But if you look into the distance of his flight path, do we see some clouds in his path? Yeah, well, oh yeah. Is that one falling apart or that one building? What is your expertise there, Sebastian?
I don't know. It's very difficult to say. And
If
yeah.
not this one, then it's the other one to the right. That's definitely looks better and fresher.
Yeah.
That's definitely building. So we'll see in a moment if this one is. I mean, he
And the
still has
other.
plenty of height, but see that one is going towards it. Is it falling apart or not? Let's keep on that so we can see how the cloud is developing. But I think the cloud beyond it is actually developing better. Since we haven't watched his flight pass and we haven't seen what he's doing, we don't know. The one to the far left looks, of course, much better, but that's also a couple of kilometers out of the way. So, Sebastian, give me a hint. How do you get this screen so far zoomed out? Because I try that when I'm doing this, and I can never get it zoomed out this far.
It's the maximum I can do, but it's just on right click on the spectator mode, and it's like this.
Right click, and then you do what? Right click and what?
And you move your mouse
Left or right, up and down, or
up
you
and
scroll?
down. You go down.
Oh,
If I go up, I'm zoom in and zoom out with mouse down.
okay. So for all of you people who ever flown in spectator mode, this is how you do it. And I haven't figured it out. Now I know about it. I hope I remember. Bingo. So Tim is doing his thing. He decided that both clouds are falling apart. And so he's chosen to go to the left to the nice formed cumulus cloud. And he's hoping to find something good in it. If you look in the back, if you look in the distance in the back, you can see these gaggles going on over there. And they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing. So, Tim Mutson, how's it going to be for you? You're still far away from that cloud, aren't you? You're still far away from the cloud.
Okay, trying to take it, but it seems. Oh yeah, it was at the cloud. So the vertical speed you are seeing on the screen, and the bottom of the screen, is how do we say, instantaneous climb speed. So we need to do some average in our head to have something saying what is the strength of the thermal.
Right. So if you look at the variometer that gives you the meter per second increase, you can see this is a very not a strong thermal, obviously, and he decided to leave it because it was very uncenter, not central. So he didn't find a center of it, and it was very weak in certain places. And he's like, "This is not going to be it." So he continues, and in the distance we actually can see turn point 4, and then that little slinker they have to make to the left of the finish line. So he's hoping for a better cloud, even though he's flying in total blue. Or is that a new one forming right there? That's it. He's looking at that new one forming. And if he finds a new cloud, then that is it.
What is going on behind?
So we have the now in second place, which is Charlie Oscar November. And he right now, Cristiano, is still 1,450 meters, which is not the highest, but he has caught up quite a bit in the distance flying. We also have KMI and Sean over there, who haven't found a nice thermal, it looks. Average, or maybe not. It looked like they were going up 1.1, 2.1, 4.5. That's a nice thermal right there. And they're going up 1,800 meters, so they're on a safe path right now. And that is good to know. That is always like once you're getting down to 1,500 meters, you're like, you're starting to sweat. And there you see that beautiful cumulus cloud building.
So it will be probably their last climb before the end, before the report point, and then the finish line.
Yeah, again, we have 800-meter max finish, so a minimum finish. That means, since I don't have my McCready, if you go into the internal view of the cockpit of Tim Mutson, we can possibly see that, because sometimes he looks at his McCready, and we can see right now he's flying towards that cloud that we saw that's going to develop, and again, it's in the mountainous area, which may give him a bit of a lucky day, but once she changes his PDA, that might be a new one building, or we don't know. Tim has been watching this for a while, so he knows what's happening on the screen. But when he changes his screen, which is the map right now, to his McGrady point, then we can see how much height he still has or needs to go to turn point 4 and or the finish line.
But it seems quite confident because he configured his computer, flight computer, with a Mach ready of 2.5 meters per second. So
Uh-huh.
he is expect to have at least this climb rate on
Right.
the next thermal.
But also we're running now where we just flew through the flatlands. And now we're going back into the mountainous area. And so, and it's going to be mountainous. And if you look at its PDA, you can see it's going to be mountainous all the way through till the finish line. And that also brings a bit of a challenge to it. John Davis here commenting on YouTube saying, "Yeah, man, get a rudder and VR, meaning some virtual goggles. That's for sure. My flying handle is JZB, meaning his CN, his call name is Julia Zebra Bravo, GZB, and then there's Calvin von Balen also on YouTube to say, "Hey JD, you're still here?" I don't know if JD is there, but I'm here. Hey.
So Tim is climbing for his last climb for this second race.
Yeah, we'll find out if he's getting enough lift here. He's getting 1.5, 1.8 average right now. He really likes this. And I'm pretty sure in a moment he's going to switch over to his, there we go. DDH minus 600. That's the turn point 1 to 4. He needs turn point 8 though, last one. So this is his turn point for the next one. And we'll see how this goes. Calvin, thanks for watching. It was doing great. Oh, one flow said, I doze off until I heard my name. LOL. Very nice. And one flow is going to fly later. Did you see my head doing this? Going to the right or to the left? This is what you happen when you fly cockpit. My head goes automatically to the right, and my wife, when she sees me like this, she always laughs out loud. She's like, "What are you doing, Herman?" And I'm like, "I'm flying, and I'm going like this to keep my, balance straight." It's very good. This is a nice lift for Matson, 2.6, 2.7 average. I think he is going to smoke this really, really nice, and really nice to see some interaction here on YouTube. People are chatting away. Lovely to see that. And on Twitch, nobody's chatting. I know I have people on Twitch, but nobody's chatting. Yoo-hoo, hello. Here we go. He's looking at his time. Yep, that is right. 2.8. I think he's going to take it as high as he can to get a really nice final glide in with high speeds. And again, we cannot see, or I cannot see, what his turn point. And Sebastian showed back up. He is magic. Love that. But you see my head constantly. I always look like this. It's like, keep doing that. It's like, get my head straight, for crying out loud. Just get over this. And one flow says, I used to get a quick neck in my neck until I enabled rule on the track ID. What is that? What is the role on track ID? Do you know, Sebastian?
No.
What is the role? One flow, please explain the role thing. Because we all have stiff necks, believe me. So here we can see Timke has 270 kilometers flown. He's definitely still going up. He's taken all the height that he can get. And the rest of the family is 10 to 12 to 14, 16, 17 kilometers behind. So he's absolutely leading this race and getting a strong thermal. I think he's maxing it out right now. No, he's not maxing out there's more. He's just recentering it. And Tim Matson, continue that flight because this is our head tracker. Yay! Okay. Do you know what the head tracker is, Sebastian?
Yeah, I know it. and I have one, in fact.
So he's talking about the head tracker, and then if you set up the roll part, so
Yes,
so when you
well,
so you don't do this all day long because you're looking at the screen, because um, that may
if
help. See, I'm not using any tracker. I'm not using any virtual goggles. I'm using just a screen, and the cockpit just does it.
so it's just I don't know if I can share it. No, the
Right,
cable is too short, but it is just a camera which is tracking my head, and when I
right,
turn left, the view is turning faster than my
right,
head.
right, right, right.
So it's very interesting to learn how to fly and to fly in secure way, to have a view always outside.
Right, right, right. What happened now? Come on, you got smaller. You were taller than I am. Now you're smaller than I am.
I move my camera.
There we
Okay.
go. That's more like it. Thank you for that. I'm still taller than you right now, but that's how it goes.
Okay, where we are.
And then there's Julien. Hello to all of you. So great to see you. Thank you, Julien. Appreciate it, and you are welcome. Here we can clearly see how Tim Matson is in the lead, and I have a feeling he's on his final glide. He has enough height. There's a couple of nice little clouds on its way. And then there's KMI coming to this cloud that Tim was in it, but it sure looks like it's falling apart. So I don't know if KMI is able to take that cloud, or if he's not as lucky. Closely followed right there. No, he didn't take it. He flew right through it. So good luck to you guys, because this cloud is falling apart. So Tim really took all the juice out of it. Or is it redeveloping? We don't know. But we have Sean following closely, as well as Stuart, the two British pilots doing their thing. And then ZBY, Zulu Bravo Yankee. But he's low in altitude, still has to catch up a little bit. And Calvin asks, is Antoine is around? No, Antoine is not around. He is working. He is flying and has no time to chat while in the air. So sorry about that.
Maybe
So
Anton will join tomorrow.
he'll join us tomorrow, right? He'll join us
Maybe.
tomorrow. Hey, race on a rock. There's somebody. Ha ha ha. Tim is just doing great and paving the way for us later. That's right. Race on the rock. That's on Twitter. That is right. But I found out today during a Discord chat that he's not paving the way. That's right. Hold on. That's right. Can talk and type. That's right.
Okay, the turning point is approaching, Tim.
The thing is, Tim is not leading the way for us later due to the fact that there's a variation button on the setup. So that means it will be still the same cloud strength and the cloud settings and the same weather, but the clouds in itself will not be identical to this first race. And the reason why is because you viewers on YouTube or Twitch cannot make notes and says, oh, I'm not taking this thermal, I'm not taking that thermal. The only thing you can take is my suggestion, as Tim did, possibly go around it, go around the mountain. That might be a hint for you. That is a great suggestion and a great helpers for all of you followers that are flying at the later hour. But the clouds will be different. Not the weather, just the clouds. They will not pop in the same spot as they did during this task. That is the difference right here. So Tim, what is he doing? 1,436 meters. There's his McGrady. He is still 600 meters above McGrady for turn point 4. I have not seen his McGrady for turn point 5, which is the finish.
Do you know the distance between the reporting point and the finish line?
The distance, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, the distance to turn point 4 right now is 14.4 kilometers. And how many kilometers have we flown? We have flown 283 plus 14. So it's only 5 kilometers.
Yeah.
Or 8 kilometers. 14. 14 is 88, it's 98. And then 7 kilometers from turn point 4 to turn point 5. Here we go. On YouTube, we have John Davis saying, I flew with Stuart, which is Golf Hotel Kilo, and Devon and Somerset Gliding Club at DSGC Southwest England. And one flow says, I find the advantage of watching the race beforehand is balanced out by the disadvantages of not having as many people to fly or to follow in the later time slot. So there's some truth to that, as Calvin agrees. Since the later time slots are very seldom visited, meaning only 3 or 2 or 4 or 5 pilots, compared to having 20, there's no markers for you to follow, and so you're basically almost flying solo the entire task. And so having the advantage to watch the mainstream right now does give you a bit of an advantage, or a bit of a head start. So that is right. If I'll be flying later, which I'm not, because I'm not registered, I would watch this task as well. But Sebastian, a question: if somebody is registered for this specific task starting at 18:30 p.m. or 18:30 and missed the flight, can that person still fly the later task?
No, the pilots choose one time slot for a given task, and they are stuck to this time slot. They can't change. They can fly 2 times the same.
Not 2 times the same. But if they miss this one,
no, because they choose before this one. They choose to fly this one, so they need to be there at this time.
So if somebody was registered for this time slot, just to clarify, if somebody was registered for the 16 or 18:30 time slot, cannot fly the 11:15 or the 11:30 time slot.
Correct. This pilot can choose tomorrow to change his time slot, so he can fly later. But for the day he registered, he can't change anything.
And why is that?
Because if he registers to this time slot, he will receive the briefing 1 hour before. So
right.
he will get some information about the flight.
Right.
So it's a disadvantage for the others to have to not have this information.
Yeah.
So
you're saying it's not a good if you have the information in advance and then flying a later time slot. Is that's why?
yeah, and the other point is that if he registers for this time slot, he can join, just get the flight plan, and do not fly at all, and try to train again and again, and go to the real race after. And it's not fair for the other pilots.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that information and that clarification. So, if you're registered for a specific time, no matter which time it is, you cannot swap it around on the day off. You can change it next day before the first flight. You can change it. I think you have to change it like 2 or 3 hours prior to the actual start. You can change your preferred time slot, and that's how it is set up. And Kelvin says, "What information do you get?" Question mark. If the weather is randomized. Well, it's not just the weather; it's also it's just the task itself. It is the ridges, which are the same. You know, you can practice the ridge flights, things like that. You'll have definitely an advantage. You can practice for 4 or 5 hours before you fly on this specific task. Even if the weather is randomized, the weather is still the same. It's a randomized same weather, no matter if you fly first or second or third task time slots. So that's why, I believe.
Okay, Tim just passed the reporting point, and he need to cross the finish line now, just 6 kilometers away.
Right. 6 kilometers away. Maximum height is 800 meters. So he has 150 meters to kill. And the question is, how much sink will you get in these valleys? Can you squeeze through them or can you not? And if you don't, then you have to find another thermal to get high enough to get over it. So this is again, it's a tricky finish, which makes it really nice and tricky. Tricky is good. We like tricky. And there he sees straight ahead. He sees his finish line, and he's still 900 meters up, so he has 100 meters to get go. And his speed is super sweet right now. He's flying fast. So he has lots of energy to be able to pull up before the finish line. And he has hardly any sink right here. He's flying along the ridge. Look at that castle right there. Thank you. That's a beautiful view of this castle. Bam. It's an old castle from the medieval times, I believe. And now he's approaching his finishing team, and that is such a great view to finish up with Tim Muttson's own personal stream on our server here on the virtual soaring GP competition. Very well done. I really appreciate all your work that you do, Sebastian. This is some great background work. And you're doing it all while you're doing it on the stream. I think I can do the same thing. I think I would be not talking as much, but hey, some people might like that. So here we go. He's going to the finish line. 289 meters. He needs to pull up a little bit, and he will. I'm pretty sure. Off he goes. Pull up, pull up, pull up.
Okay.
800, 810, 820. Congratulations. Super well done. Tim Muttson won this task on this time slot. Comes in first. That doesn't mean it's the end, because we still have later time slots. We have Red and all these Australians that fly later because it's too early for them to fly at 6:30 in the morning or something like this. It's just not their thing. So they're flying probably at 10:30 in their time AM. And then closely followed right here, hopefully plenty of hype. But boy, I mean, like Tim has just a massive lead on everyone. That is just very, very impressive. Julian asked, do you foresee other types of races like AAT task or time trials? Do we know about this?
So this is a Sailplane Grand Prix, so the rules is always the same with racing task and regatta start. So we'll not see other type of race for Sailplane Grand Prix. But at the end of the year, we'll probably organize something with more usual gliding rules with AAT and so on.
Yeah, so that hopefully answers the question that you have, Julian. It is Sail GP. It is soaring GP. So GP is always the same. It is a triangle. It is a triangle or a square or whatever it is. It's a task with turn points, rich or thermal flying, and it is regatta. That's the word right there. It's the regatta start, where the time starts and everybody's time starts at that moment. And so an AAT task or a time trial doesn't work that way, because GP racing, Grand Prix racing, is everybody starts at the same time. The green light goes out or on, and everybody goes. And the first to arrive at the finish is the winner of that task. And that's how GP or Grand Prix racing is. This is how it is in Formula One, in motorcycles, or even in Sail GP with the F50s. So this explains the question that you have. I have another commentary here on Twitter, which is Race on the Rock. He's like, yes, the weather different, but the bridge is supposed not. So that's true. And that's right, too. We need more pilots on later slots. And congratulations, Tim. Yes, it would be nice to have more people, more registrant. That means more people have to apply. More people have to fly. And
come to fly with us.
Yeah, well, invite the people. You know what you can do? You can click like, subscribe, and share. And so we find more people to join Condor, Condor 2. We have maybe more people finding out about this competition because soaring is such a niche market. It's such a niche sport. And as more people find out by sharing, and I'm looking at you guys, sharing, can I repeat myself? Sharing these videos, these YouTube videos, people find out about it and possibly consider partaking, maybe not this year, but maybe next year. And, you know, we're doing this for the second time, and we're stepping up to our possibilities to make this better. And so our goal is to stream as many and as much of this GP Grand Prix as possible with the help of you guys. And of course, Antoine, Sebastian, Timothy, Ben, and myself. And if we find, and congratulations, Mihaly, for second place. Really well done. He is quite a bit behind. I would say like about 3 minutes, if not more. So by getting more interest and getting this out there on the market, Stefan Lange is a huge support of soaring in general, and with his commentaries and his presence, like we had him 2 days ago, this can help us. But you viewers and your enthusiasm, and by you sharing this knowledge and information, because most of you are Condor pilots anyway, you know. This is how it
Stewart
goes.
seems to be a bit low. You need to go away the castle.
Stuart,
We
huh?
will.
Flying low. He's probably hoping to find some lift here on these ridges. You know, he can still pull up, but he's still about 2Ks away. This might be one of those situations where you scratch your head and says, "Oh no."
And Sean is going to go
Hey,
in front of
Sebastian, a
him.
question on one flow is the Condor World Cup associated with the FAI?
The Condor World Cup. No, there is no.
CWC?
No.
No, this is the only official Grand Prix endorsed and supported by the FAI. There's no one else.
So we'll prepare something for the end of the year, which will be rated by the FAI.
So here we go. Sean is pulling up. He has to pull up, pull, 800 meters, boom. Da, da, da. And then we see in the distance right there, he is scraping the floor. Oh, he's taking ground lifts, and now he has to pull up to 800. Can he make it?
No, he will have penalty.
Yes.
Penalty
That's
point.
800 meters. Was it enough? Was that enough? I don't know. Guys, what do you think? Was that enough? And then we have the rest of the people coming, flying high, flying low, flying. You know, this is the tight part right here. I am not sure if our dear friend Stuart had enough height to finish this. He may heard the scream, the clapping. We don't know. We'll find out. Here we go. He's pulling up, and they both have to get over 800. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Congratulations on Cristiano for coming through. And ZBY, did he get his 800 meters? I don't know. Ernesto trying to do the same thing. No speed. Oh, Ernesto, you're not going to make that. That is flying through the task without enough height. You have to fly over to that cloud and do it again. Oh, guys, you are way too low. You're never going to make this with 7. No, Cuba. You're not. This is crazy. Oh my goodness, you're flying through Alps and then you're not going to make it? Oh, this is a tough call right here. You guys are coming to home, but you're not high enough. 800 meters! Pull! Is Arthur and Cuba pulling up to 800 meters? Are they have enough to do this? No. The answer is no. No. Oh, guys, that is bugger. Oh, and then of course we have Mark Till coming in and says the arrival height is at 752. Okay. So I misread that on the task because it says 800, but then I remember, I think you mentioned once before that it's get rounded up to 800, but the actual right is 752. Please confirm that, Mark Till. I know you're very knowledgeable, and I am still learning to commentate this in the proper and correct way. And some of those information come only available if you're registered and having these tasks in my face. So some of these informations are not available to me because I'm not registered. So I don't have the briefing in my hand, so I don't see it because only registered pilots have that briefing. Maybe I need to change that. What do you think, Sebastian? I think I need to register.
Yeah,
and
you need to register and to fly.
and fly
Yeah,
and commentate.
yeah, if you can, you can try.
When do I sleep? When do I sleep, huh?
Okay, so Mark is saying that Condor is rounding to the nearest 100 meters.
Right. So okay. So it's 8:52. Thank you, Tim. Also, Condor says that they did it. That's Race on the Rock saying that on the stream on Twitch, saying they did it. So, and as Mark Till says, Condor rounds to the nearest 100 meters. So there we have the answer. So if they make it, they make it. So that's great. And we can see Jarmon coming in JKK now. He's coming in 10th place. As I said, he might make the top 10. He was in 16s when he left that high altitude, and now he's cruising in. He's cruising in really sweetly, and with lots of energy. He'd be able to pull out if he doesn't even need to, because obviously 752 is the minimum height required to get through this. Thank you again. We can relax there.
You
And
need to pull a bit.
what a nice finish line with that nice high plateau right there and the
Yeah.
radio tower. Super sweet. There we go. He doesn't even have to pull up. He's like, I don't have to pull. 762. I'm good. Congratulations, Jamon, for catching up and finishing up in a 10th place. Releasing your water. Gotta go pee. That's for sure. It was a wonderful flight, you all. The top 10 are in. We still have a few others following, but we're not going to stay that long on the air. I apologize for that. But we've been streaming for almost 3 hours. So that's how we take that. We have Jill KH coming in. Super nice. Perfect height. Plenty of time.
Energy.
Oh, John Davis says, Norman, fly, commentate, and stream. You've got that. Yeah. There you go. I cannot even talk and type at the same time. How am I going to stream, talk, and fly, and type, and do all that stuff? There's a 4 tasks as one. And then switch around screens and do all that stuff. No. I think this is plenty. And I do miss my gliding hours on Condor, I have to be honest. But since I started flying in real life since this year, I spend so much time at the actual airport and putting real hours on a real plane. And when I come home, I'm like, I don't need to fly extra on Condor. But commentating on Condor is another story. I truly enjoy this. This is part of my nature. I can chit chat and chit chat and chit chat, chit chat, and it is fun to do. And especially with an incredible team like Sebastian, Timothy, and Antoine backing me up, as well as Ben, of course, which is a fantastic co-commentator. So congratulations to Donier Pierluigi coming
Donna
in.
Pierre.
Huh?
Donna Pierre.
Donna Pierluigi. Donna Pierre. The French have their own way of saying Donna Pierre. So it's Luigi. Made it. Congratulations. Came in 11th, I believe.
Okay.
No, but Calvin asked me if I'm the one in blue commentating. No, I'm the English guy, the American dude with the black shirt, the gray hair, the beard, and all. Sebastian is over there. Sebastian.
Hi.
And this is Norman. And Sebastian, next time we'll have little name tags under here, like Timothy had that done for us. It says Norman, Normand. I said Normand. I like to say thank you all YouTubers. Again, click like, subscribe, and share, because this is how we grow. I guarantee you, by the end of the year, when we're at our 8th or 9th Grand Prix, we'll have hundreds of viewers at the same time, and we'll have sponsors by then as well. We're looking for sponsors. So if you have any ideas of, that would benefit us, for sponsors that are willing to, put some goodies out there for all of you and all of us, we are welcome to suggestions and support, and are willing to take financial as well as other gifts that we can give on to the Condor pilots that are competing here. This is the real Grand Prix, and so it's the real deal. And looking forward to hear from you guys about that. Much appreciated, Sebastian. Much appreciated all your support. And we're going to end this beautiful day with this landing of Donier Pierluigi.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Norman, for the comment. It was great.
Yes. Oh,
And
bounce off. That's the way not to do it, but he landed. He didn't crash. Pulling off to the left right there. Coming into Stuart onto his left. Really well done. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening wherever you are, a wonderful morning wherever you are, a wonderful night wherever you are. Much peace.
bye-bye.
Bye bye. Au revoir. Tschüss.